switch.
Let's talk about the World Parkinson Congress next year. What are you looking forward to?
Connecting with people, just walking in that. And I still remember the best part was you had 4 or 5 days where you could be yourself and you were free. Everyone, whether you had, a tremor, you're squirming in your seat because you can't sit for more than an hour at a time. You don't get the funny looks of what's wrong with this guy. I mean, everyone just knows and understands it. So there's no, you could actually relax, totally relax, and if the body wanted to slap around and go crazy, well, that's fine. You didn't have to hold it back or feel, embarrassed because you're wearing half your breakfast down the front of your shirt because you spilled it. So, and you don't get soup. Isn't that cool? You don't have to wear that. So, what do you have for lunch? I don't know. Have a look at this.
I'm not the only one. I was with Becca Miller at one point during the conference, and we saw some people who didn't have Parkinson's in the convention center. She goes, "What's with the arm swingers?"
Yeah, obviously you don't have Parkinson's, so thank you very much. Yeah, what are you doing here? Get out. So
you weren't
don't like that at all. Yeah,
fun.
But that's and just the information that comes from World Parkinson's and the connections you make, and the directions you find yourself going afterwards. I mean, I was exhausted after that 4 days.
You don't have to do everything, and you can't do everything. So don't beat yourself up if you don't go to every session, because there's like 5 sessions at a time, or 3 or 4 or 5. And oftentimes you aren't even in a session. You're just in the lobby talking to somebody, and it's the best, hour you had. I mean, it's great. And then I would go home or go back to the room and back. And I'd spend about 4 hours putting the podcast together, because I was doing the podcast every night. And so I was up to like 2 or 3 in the morning doing that. And then I'd get up again in the morning to do it all over again. So what I'm encouraging people, if you've not been to the World Parkinson Congress, go back to the podcast from Kyoto, and you'll get a sense of what it's like, and, some of the stuff we learned, and the personalities. And it really, for me, I don't think I'd ever been in a room with 5 people that were YOPD, let alone 100. And that for me was just thrilling to realize I wasn't alone. And not only was I not alone, but it made some really great lifelong friends.
Yeah, and I particularly love the round table sessions at which, it's not all about being talked at by going into presentations and learning things. There was a lot of opportunities, and every day there was the round tables where you could just book in. They were allocating topics for certain tables, and you could sit and you could be contributing and talking about and finding out about other people who are doing similar sort of things to you, or just it'd just be a sit down chat table about whatever comes up. And I particularly I try to get into as many of those as possible. It was great. Yeah.
Well, and then going through and looking at all the posters of the research that people are doing, and this year they're accepting patient posters, sort of like, how are you living your life? They don't have to be scientific, but it's sort of like, what have you discovered personally with your Parkinson's journey, which will be interesting in and of itself. And then there's all sorts of companies there that are representing their Parkinson's wares. It's the biggest conference for Parkinson's in the world. It's doctors, it's scientists, it's researchers, it's the home health care workers, it's the therapists, it's partners in Parkinson's, and it's people with Parkinson's, all at the same place. And there are moments of tension because the medical community and the patient community don't always see eye to eye, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, but everyone's view and everyone's idea is listened to, and you've got to, and I think that's a bit, yeah, everyone was seen to be a contributor as much as you wanted to be.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to be a presenter, you didn't have to be a speaker. Oh, you can't just sit there and absorb. That's one thing it does teach you. You got, whether you want to or not, within a day or two, you will find yourself looking for those round tables that are set up and they're formalized, as in, like, you have to book in to get onto this seat on this table. Yeah. And just the impromptus that started up. There was a few impromptu meetings that came out. The young onsets did that. And that's available. You know, it's not as if, oh no, we can't do that. It's not on the program. We can't have that happening. It was just where's the spare room in there? Let's go. And you can do all those sorts of things. But they had alternative medicines there. You could get massage, you could get all sorts of things. I had yoga classes in the morning. You know, you turn up before everything started, and there was classes you could go in, and Pilates and yoga, and go and get a massage during the day anytime you liked. It was all great. You know, there was experience everything, it's not just being yapped at. You know, it's or just pouring information into your head. It's a lot more than that, so much more. Yeah.
I encourage everybody to go. And even if you don't consider yourself an advocate, as soon as you book those tickets to go to Barcelona and to be at that conference, you are instantly an advocate. Because you can't be there and not be one.
No, it's just, you know, forget about, don't look it up. Don't look up the word in the dictionary, and don't go to ask anyone else what it is. To me, it just means I want to learn more. I want to know as much as I can. I want to be the best person I can. And whatever that is for me might be different to somebody else, but at the end of the day, it's what's right for you. And you want change. You're not happy with just sitting on the fence and letting Parkinson's dictate how you live your life and where you're going to go. You want to have some say in it. And
well, yeah, and I left the last one with a lot of ideas, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it all.
And there's no limitations. You know, it's like, let's see how far we can go with this.
I consider Parkinson's it gives me permission to do the things that I always wanted to do that I never made time for. But,
yeah. I think that's the best way to say it. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, for sure. What have we got to lose, you know? Everyone thinks I should be sitting down doing nothing. Well, okay, I can get up and do something. You know, so bugger them, you know.
Yeah.
I just, it's that new way. It's just, yeah, let's have a crack. Let's see where we go with this.